Hey, this will be the video recap of our Warrior charts for the week of February 1st, 2010. If you're new to this, what these are, we go and pick out 5 charts every weekend and put them into 5 separate categories. Each of them you can read about here within the email, and this is the email you're looking at. Pattern plays, bottom bouncer plays, and then 3 others. So it's pretty self-explanatory when you get these emails, and all you have to do to get them is go to bullwarriorstocks.com, sign up. It's all free, and you'll be eligible for these. And once again, these are called Warrior charts. So let's just dig in. Our charts for this week were MSPD, USU, CNXT, ACXM, and BBND. So our first one on the week was MSPD. This was a pattern play, and the pattern we were looking at was a bull flag pattern. You can see we had the flagpole here, our resistance, and then support. So let's go and see how we did for the week on this one. This blue line here just represents what the chart looked like on Friday. So this is what the chart looked like on January 29th. So Monday, not much. Had a green day, but was still within the pattern. So no buy signals given. And then here we had the break. We're going to call it right around $7. And you could have gotten in here on the break. It did pull back a little bit, but it held strong right up around this area. And then the following day had a nice move up where it hit $7.48. And like the rest of the markets, did pull back, but this actually made a window of opportunity had you gotten in right at the $7 mark. Give or take a little bit, but let's just say you got in at 7. It went up and hit 7.48, which was a 6.8% move. So that was our winner. If you're new, we need to see at least 5% to classify these charts as winners. The reason for that being you can walk into your local bank and maybe if you're lucky get a CD for 6 months and maybe get 3% on it. Whereas with these charts we're looking to try to make at least 5% in a few days. So when you compare it to your local bank, this is kind of a no-brainer. So MSPD was a nice little winner here for us on the chart breakout. Our next chart was USU. This was our bottom bouncer play. We saw it starting to bounce here, had some nice volume come in, so we were looking at either a pullback entry or just kind of hop in somewhere up here because since it was clearly bouncing. So let's go to the action and see what happened on USU. Once again, this is what the chart looked like when we put it out. You can see Monday, very nice day, so had you gotten in somewhere around here, you could have made some nice money as it eventually went up all the way up to $4.42. It closed right here at $4, so we're looking at a 10.5% move. Granted, maybe some people this was a no play just because they didn't want to buy in the gap, so that's a possibility. But had you bought up around this area, had a 10.5% area for profitability. So this was another winner for us on the week, and this was once again our bottom bouncer play. Our third one was our trend trading play. With these, we just like to go with the trend. We had a very evident uptrend here, as can be seen by the moving averages. We were talking about the 10-day simple moving average, which is this line here. We were also pointing out how we had nice volume decrease during this pullback, and that's what you want to see. And so let's see what happened with CNXT. So here's what the chart looked like, and we are looking for, here's a 10-day simple moving average which we pulled out, and look at that. Came down and basically bounced right off it. So for argument's sake, instead of saying you timed it perfectly and got it down here, let's just say you got in at the close, which was at 382 here. So you got in right around 382, and then you can see what happened. Went all the way up and hit $4.25. So that was an 11.3% move. This was our biggest gainer on the week. And once again, that was simply just buying weakness on this pullback. You see the pullback, it was an uptrending stock, and you would have bought in here, set a stop loss somewhere down here. Stop loss was never violated, and then you got the bounce here for 11% move had you played it absolutely right. And then you can see it's pulled back down here since then, like the remainder of the market. So CNXT was another winner for us. Our next one was actually my favorite one of the week, just because you can really load up on these ones because they're so liquid. But we had our volume alert play. We saw big volume coming in, a big move here, and then what I pointed out was these 2 pullback entries. And on the week, I put in some shares down there at I think $15.05, something like that. I wanted to try to pick up some shares. So let's see what happened on our volume alert play. you can see literally, and remember, this was $15 right where I marked it. Look at that. These 2 days went down a low of $14.95 here and a low of $14.98. So this is where I was filled. And then look at that, made a nice move up to 1646, and this was a 9% move. So when you can put in some pretty nice chunks of money on these ones and not have to worry about liquidity as an issue, this was a very nice move here of potential just underneath 10% move on a stock that was what some would consider expensive. But if you play these right, you can still get some nice percentage moves here. So ACXM was at least my personal favorite for the week. So this was our fourth winner in a row of the week. Our last one of our bull charts, or excuse me, our warrior charts, was BBND. This was our pending breakout play. Basically what we were looking at is a break of 320. It was showing some life, so we wanted to see if it could head back up. So with this strength, we just want to see if there's anything more to it. So let's just see how this one went. This one was a no play, just for the simple reason of Monday didn't make any progress, and then it just went down the rest of the week. So there was just never a buy signal given, so there was just nothing to be acted on here. Now the other thing we had for the week was our trade idea, and this one did not go too well at all. This was BGOI, and the one thing to note, and this is just kind of a lesson, but twice here we noted that you want to always, like we said here, to repeat ourselves, set tight stop losses, and make sure to honor it. We set it someplace right up here. We set it again. Set your tight stop losses and honor them if need be. So that's just one of those things where whether it's a penny stock or a big board, you always want to make sure that you set those stop losses and get those honored, and make sure you cut losses quick. So here's our chart, and the reason we liked it, we had very nice liquidity on it, had a very nice uptrend to it, and we marked out these possible areas to buy on pullbacks. And right up front, this chart pretty much just fell apart. There was some sort of greediness a part of the deal, whether it be a company or a financer or something, but you'll see when we pull up the chart. So here's a chart, and this is what it looked like. We had a big gap up, and like we said in the email, unless it broke 0.075, that would be a breakout. So nowhere did we say to buy a gap up. That wouldn't have been too smart. But right here was the first pullback point that we mapped out at 0.055, and this was just a bad entry. If you had gotten in here, I don't really think you would have had an opportunity to make any money. So this would have been a losing entry here. Our next one that we mapped out, which was here at 0.045, had you gotten in there, you did have a little bit of an opportunity to make some money from 0.045 up to this 0.051, which was a window of 11%. Once again, we expected much more. So yes, you had a little opportunity for the day traders there, but after a few days, this level didn't hold strong either. So this really just showed that something wasn't right with the chart when you keep seeing these support levels break. Then we had kind of the last one we mapped out, which was 0.035. On this day, dropped down there, right, bounced off it, which was also the 20-day. And then in the morning had a nice move up here. It actually went up to 0.043, which was a 23% window. So had you gotten in here in the low right at 0.035, you had about 23% to work with here. But once again, when this level failed here, this was the big red flag that something's not right. We had such a beautiful chart, had all these support levels, and then they were just broken, crushed, big volume. So this was just not a good play. But once again, does map out why you want to always use stop losses and honor them, and save yourself some trouble. But once again, if you are around, there's nothing wrong with trading these, because there was some nice trading opportunities here. As you could have played a little bounce here and then played another little bounce here. So if you're capable and able to do quick swing trades or buy and sell within the same day, at least some of your shares, that's always a good option to go. But BGOI, just not a good play. Putting in what looks like a hammer candle today, so maybe this is finally the bottom down here at the 50-day simple moving average. But this is a great reason why you need to put support levels and watch them, because the more support levels that fail, that's just the more and more obvious that the chart isn't going your way. So this was our one chart for the week that was a loser, and it wasn't even a time